understanding of what are the objects we need to consider whenever we want to load the data into the BW system. Okay, so in our last class we have taken the example of master data with attributes. So if I am checking this option, means this particular button would be getting highlighted. At the same time, I need to add them to the according to my requirement, something like this, and do it. Okay, now let us go and study.
Vinay, question.
Yes, please.
Whenever we click on that master data, is it mandatory that we have to add all the attributes, any attributes here, or
it is not mandatory, but if you add attributes, then they don't need to some meaningful, right?
Right.
So we are considering it as attributes with master data just to add the attribute values. So the advantage of adding these kind of things is no need to load the values all the time. For example, I'll show you a simple example. So usually, the naming convention followed in SAP ECC tables. Okay, when you talk about ECC tables, then the naming convention followed is any table name starting with the A till X are considered to be as the SAP defined objects. Okay, and if I want to create my own things, then either I would be using Y or Z. This is a normal tradition followed in SAP. But when it comes to SAP BW scenario, okay, anything starting with the A till Z are referred to as the user defined objects. Custom defined, okay, or and anything starting with 0 is referred to as a standard thing. So this is normal standard BW naming convention standard. So usually instead of A to Z, what we'll do is in order to comply with SAP ECC, we'll go with here also Z also. So Z means the user defined objects starting with the 0 followed by the name means the standard objects. Okay. So let us go and check a few of the standard objects. So go to this button, find button. You are in the RS7 screen, go to find button. For example, we have a 0 material master data info object. It is based on the material tables, Mara, Marci, all these stuff. Okay, 0 materials. So it's a master info object, right? You can search it over in the info provider section because it contains some data. It is not a simple field. So search, then material. Just double click and you can see the same way how we have created the same thing. The same things are already defined by the SAP. But the only difference you will observe is it is starting with 0 so that I can uniquely identify it. Okay. Now the same character with the 18 length, the same conversion routines, all this stuff. Okay. Go to master data. So with the master data, the same P table. So it also contains. So why this X table is coming over here? What is the meaning of the X table? Can anybody tell me? When X table is getting populated?
When you have attributes?
When I have the attributes, I would be getting the P table populated. So I'm asking you the property.
X is for the hierarchy one?
No. In last class, I have discussed about the attributes.
If
right?
the table is a navigational.
Yeah. Navigational plus. If it's a what is called a display
and
plus
time independent.
Time independent, we would be getting the X table populated, no time independent. Okay. So P table means display plus time independent. Q table, display plus time dependent. X table, navigational plus time independent. Y table, navigational plus time dependent. Okay, simple logic. No confusion over here. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So if you go and see your attributes, see long list of attributes over here. Close to 80 attributes are there. So if I just click on this, it will be showing me how many attributes are there. 80 attributes. So, and if you observe, all of these are starting with the 0. and all these are based on your Mara table of SAP ECC. And if you just down over here, then you can see the attributes over here. And this is how your what is called the 3.5 version system will look like. So this is transfer rules. Sorry, transfer rules only. This is your data source. And you can see, in order to differentiate what the SAP has done was, if it's a latest version system, in order to support the old version objects, it will be putting a square symbol in front of each and every object to let you know that this is an old version object. If you go to our objects which we have defined, then you can see that no square button is available over here. No square button, no front square button. So that is how you can differentiate between your objects. Okay. And one more thing I want to let you know. I'll get back to it later. Next, like this, that is about the zero material. So like this, zero customer, search. Yep, double click, and you can see the same kind of environment over here also. Close to, my goodness, 102 attributes. So what are these attributes doing? Define some. If you don't give the attributes also, no big deal. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to your decision. And there is one advantage of the master object also. So while defining another object, I'll tell you at that point of time why I'm going with the master data. So this master data loading is a one-time activity only. Define the structure and loading only when the new customers have been introduced or new data, old data has been changed, something. Okay? So today's topic is about master data text. Okay. For this one, I'm going to take a simple example. So where are my flat files? This one. So master data ENT-ITM. So for this one, I'm just going to consider an example with this one. So this is my material information, material number, the language that the material is available, whatever the on the pack we will be seeing different languages. Right? If I'm selling my product in the China, then the outer label should be in Chinese language. If it's in India, it should be in English or in the local languages, US, English, France, French, something like this. This language is differentiating my description, and currently I'm in English only, so that's the reason I'm just going ahead with the EN. So can anybody tell me what is the table name where the languages are stored in SAP systems? Table name, standard table name. Have you got my question? For currencies, we have few tables. For UOM, I have told you T0068. Like this, all the language keys are stored in one table. It is similar like our SAP ECC table name. What is the table name? ABAPers.
On top of my mind, I do not remember, but there is an easy way, right?
It's T005. Okay, so display countries. Oh, sorry, it's a countries. Maybe something like a T005 here. Something starting with T005 only. Let me go and check. Yes, T002. The table name is T002. Go and see the contents. So here, for each and every language, a code would be defined by the SAP. A code would be defined by the SAP, and you can see the language number. So let us go and check with respect to English. So English, so the code is English, right? EN. That is the reason I should use the EN. Similar like my properties of my Same thing. When I was using, when I was talking about the UOM keys, okay, UOM, unit of measurement, I was referring to a table called T006A, and I need to define the, definitely use the entries from this table only, okay, like the currency keys, what table name? Can anybody tell me? The currency keys table. I have already discussed in the class.
TCURV.
TCURV. TCURC. Okay. CURC is the table name where the currency keys are stored. Okay. Yeah. And now what about the table name with respect to language? Language keys. The table name is T002. So here these are nothing but the standard tables in SAP. So some tables which I already have defined, the SAP management people would be responsible for filling these tables with data according to their organization's requirement, and we would be using that particular data for all of our requirements. Okay. Now our example was to consider this one, right? So whenever we get a file, what should I do first thing? I need to analyze what kind of data, how many fields are there. Okay, 3 fields are there, which means I need to define 3 info objects in my case. Yes, very good. What about this data? So can anybody tell me what object should I consider? Is it a characteristic? Is it a key figure? Is it a what is called the technical time? Whatever it may be. Yeah. First one. It's an item number
It
or
is
a
a
material
characteristic.
number. Okay. Let me re-question it. Material number. Yeah.
It's a characteristics.
It's a characteristic. Okay. How many say yes with respect to characteristic?
It is a characteristic only.
Characteristic only.
Oh, really? What about you, Nalini?
Yes, it is a characteristic.
It's a characteristic. If 3 of you guys are telling characteristic means it's a characteristic only. Why? Because it is defining something. Okay. What about this language?
Language is a characteristic.
It's a characteristic. Okay. Good. What about this description?
Characteristics.
So definitely characteristic. Okay. So in this case also all of the things are characteristic, which means I need to create 3 new characteristic info objects again. So before going ahead, what should I do? I should prepare some document stating what are the things. Okay. First, what I need to consider technical name. Okay. So that it would be easy for me to when I develop the objects. Followed by description of the object. Followed by the data type. Followed by the name. Okay. Let us consider the first one, material number 8. So I'm just using a, let me go and check my objects. Data info provider, and so in order to remove the confusion, what I'll do is I'll develop all my objects in this Bhatia info area for Bandip. Okay, Bandip, sorry. So you can refer to these info area whenever you have doubt, whenever you stuck somewhere. Okay, in order to remove the confusion, I'll do the same. Yeah. So here I would be using a naming convention called ZB, right? So here also the same thing. So ZB mat number. Okay, material number. Description is material number. Data type definitely. So I need to measure it. So now 6 character length all the time. So maybe they are using the 6 character length only. No problem. What I'll do? It's a char data type, and the length is 6. Yeah. With respect to language, ZLANG language. Okay, ZB. Just I'm using the same naming convention over here. Okay, it's a language key, right? So LANG language key. Data type is there's a separate data type called. So I'm going to define it as an info object, right? So with respect to info object, I have definitely 4 types only: char, numc, date, and time. So here also definitely I should go with the char only. No special kind of data type. Now length is 2 exactly. because in my table only two length is different. I need to use the data from the particular table only. Yeah, description. So ZB material mat DSC DES description. Okay, so material description, it's again a char, length may be anything, maybe 30. I should. Okay, in this case I am just taking as a small case letters, so is equal to lower, in order to tell you the importance of the lower case letters option. So here lower case letters. Okay, just a copy, control C, paste special values, just paste the values of this one over here. Okay, done. So in this case, otherwise I am just going to make it the first one as a capital, other things as a small. So from today onwards, the things would be looking very simple for you. Why? Because you are going to follow the same tradition, same methods again and again. So I am done with my considering my objects and developing the technical names, all this stuff. Okay. Now, what should I do? All of my developed objects I need to place in the info area, right? My info area is ready. First of all, I need to get the info objects, right? So go to the info object section, the same way, and all my this relevant object should be developed in a info area. So info area is ready. Info object catalog is ready. So everything is ready. You need to go and start creating your own info objects. So copy the technical name of the info object. So all characteristics again. So I need to create them in the characteristics info object catalog only. So right click, create info object. Give the technical name. So material number. So today we also study after the class the difference between the reference characteristic and the template. Why these are getting populated when I am creating a characteristic. Okay. Now give the username, what is called technical name, description. Okay. Now just expand your screen. Okay, so here the char 6, right? So go with the data type char, go with the length called 6. Go with your master data text, uncheck these two, activate. Simple. Yep, all objects activated. So it's in green color, okay? And you can see the material number. Okay, so I'll just rename my material because all of my objects are starting with Bhatia, right? So in order to remove the confusion, what I'll do, I'll just go with here also the Bhatia. Okay, whenever I'm changing something, what should I do? Activate my object again. Simple as that. Now you can see this material number would be changed to Bhatia material number. It's taking some time. Okay, now you can see the Bhatia material number. Okay, now what about the second one? Language. So with respect to language, I'm not going to create any info object with respect to language because SAP has already given me a key, what is called an info object called zero lang u. So this is the info object name. So I am just going to reuse that one. So whenever I get a requirement, something like in order to store the language, I am not going to create. If you want, you can create, no problem. But instead of creating, reusing the already existing objects would be a good idea, right? So just I would be using this one only. Zero lang u is the info object. Now, what about the third one, material description? So this one I need to create because all these are user defined objects. Now right click on your info area, info object catalog, sorry. Info object, okay, give you the technical name, the description. Okay, here again the Bhatia. Now char 30, right? So characteristic, and it's a 33. Go to your uncheck, go to your master text, uncheck these two the same way which we have done earlier. So just activate your objects, and you can see the Bhatia material description. Fine. So go to your Bhatia material number. Now go to check mode, change mode, sorry, change mode. So you can go this way, or otherwise right click on your object, go to change mode. It's up to you. Now go to this master data text. So for this material number only we have this material description, right? So for that one, go with the option called with the text option. Okay. When I'm checking on the option called with the text, nothing is been changing except a table is getting created starting with the T followed by your technical name of your master data info. And this is the structure of your table. So if you just double click on the table, okay, I haven't activated it, right? So the table is not getting created. Now just go with the option called with the text and just activate my object. So when I'm activating my object, in the back end the table is getting created. Now if you double click, you can see the table. So this is your table structure. Material number, language key, short description. That is the reason I have arranged my file something like this: material number, language, description, because automatically a table will be getting created with this particular structure. So I have created my file or source system also with respect to the same structure. Now go back. So why this structure is getting created is here according to the options you are selecting over here. In this, the first one is nothing but your primary key, material number. So you can see you have mentioned, right, language key, right, language dependent text. Then the language key is also getting populated. So short text, right? So short text. So 3, right? So 3 objects are getting populated. For example, my text as something is something like this. So this is description 1, description 2, something like this. Okay. So assume the same thing again, no problem. Okay. Then I need to this is a short description, this is a long description. Then what I can do, I can go with the medium. Then activate your object again. Now double click on the table and you can see the 4 fields now: short description and the medium description. Like this, according to your requirement, you need to follow these different objects. So if your texts are time different, for example, here the material is there. Okay. So every material has a manufacture date and the expiry date. If you want to maintain some that kind of particular data, then what you can do, you can happily go with the option called date from and date to. And if I check this option, for example, see, texts are time dependent, execute, activate again. Now go to the click on the table and you can see the 2 dates. So this is how the format of your file should be: material number followed by the language key, followed by your valid date, from, to, from, and followed by the text. So according to your requirement, you can make use of these different options and create your text table. But in my case, it's a simple table. Okay. So go with the basic things as is. So active. It's up to you to check the decision. In spite of warnings, no problem. Yes. Okay. So now double click on the table, activate it, right? Again, it is back to the same position. Okay. So like this, we need to create our own master data info object with the text. Now my structure is ready, and whenever I am going with master data or with the text or with the hierarchy, I need to definitely give the info area name over here. Why? Because if I give the info area name, then only it is available in the info provider section. Then only I can load the data, otherwise no. Okay. So I already told you, this way I can do. I can just copy my info area, okay, paste over here and activate it. Automatically it will be available in the info provider section, or otherwise copy your opposite other way. Copy your material number technical name, go to info provider section. Okay, go to info provider, right click on your info area, insert characteristic as info provider, and give your info object. This way also we can do. In the first way, what we are doing, we are giving the info area. This time in the info area we are giving the our master information. Both are one and the same. Now we can see the object has been available over here, and this time with the text. The other way, the other time with the attributes. So here, according to the options you are checking, you can make use of this one over here. Now my objects are ready. My objects are ready. My target is ready. What about my source? I was going to my source systems, and in this case I was considering the source system as Z file. So just double click on the Z file. It will be showing me all of my data sources that have been defined in the Z file. And here already I have the application component, right?